We see things rolling all the time, right? A ball, a car tire, a bowling ball. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's actually happening there? It seems so simple, but the physics behind it all is this incredible story about energy, grip, and slip. So let's dive in.
You know that sound, right? That horrible, loud screech when a car slams on its brakes and the tires lock up? But a tire that's just rolling down the road normally, it's practically silent. So what gives? Well, that sound is actually a massive clue. It's pointing us directly to some really powerful physics at play.
And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. The huge difference between a silent roll and a noisy skid, it all comes down to a battle. A battle between two kinds of motion, two very different kinds of friction, and a constant struggle over energy. Okay, so first things first, we need to get our heads around the idea that a rolling object is basically a master multitasker. Its energy isn't just one simple thing. Nope, it's a combo deal, a two-for-one package of motion happening all at the same time. So in physics, the energy of motion is called kinetic energy. But for something that's rolling, its total kinetic energy is actually two different things added together. You've got its translational energy, which is just a fancy way of saying the energy of it moving from point A to point B. And you've got its rotational energy, which is the energy it has from, spinning. Let's make this super simple. To picture translational energy, just think of a box sliding across the floor. It's all forward motion, zero spin. For rotational energy, picture a spinning top. It's spinning like crazy, but it's not really going anywhere. Well, a rolling wheel, it's doing both of those things at the exact same time. It's the whole shebang. All right, let's start by looking at the ideal scenario, the perfect, most efficient roll. Physicists have a name for this, rolling without slipping. And it's all built on a perfect partnership between those two types of motion we just talked about. So, in this perfect roll, the spinning and the moving forward aren't just happening randomly. They are perfectly linked. They are completely in sync. The distance the wheel travels forward is directly tied to how much it has rotated. It's like a beautifully choreographed dance. Now, this brings us to a really crucial point, and it might sound a little weird at first. You probably think of friction as the bad guy, right? The thing that always steals energy and slows you down. Well, get this. In a perfect roll, it doesn't. The friction at play here is called static friction, and since the single point touching the ground isn't actually sliding, no energy is lost. So in the story of the perfect roll, static friction is actually the hero. It's this silent helper that provides the essential grip needed to turn spinning motion into forward motion. It just holds on to the road for a split second, gives the wheel a point to pivot on, and doesn't steal any energy in the process. It's a helper, not a thief. But, of course, the world isn't always perfect. So what happens when that beautiful, synchronized dance gets broken? Well, that's when we enter the messy, chaotic, and noisy world of the skid. That's when we start rolling with slipping. The moment an object starts to slip, that perfect synchronization is just gone. The spinning and the forward motion are totally decoupled. Think about a car peeling out. The wheels are spinning furiously, but the car is barely moving forward. Or the opposite. A wheel that's locked up in a hard brake. It's not spinning at all, but the car is still sliding forward. In both cases, that perfect link is broken. And why did that link break? Because a new character has entered the scene. Kinetic friction. This is the friction of things sliding against each other. And unlike its helpful cousin, static friction, this force's entire job is to take energy out of the system. It's the villain of our story. And this, right here, brings us back to our very first question. Kinetic friction fights against the slide, and in doing so, it converts all that useful kinetic energy into useless forms, mainly heat and sound. That awful screech of a skidding tire, that is literally the sound of kinetic friction violently wasting energy. So let's put these two scenarios head to head. Let's really break down the fundamental difference between a clean grip and a messy slip. I mean, the difference is just night and day, isn't it? On one side, in the no slipping column, you have perfect sync between your motions, you have helpful static friction giving you grip, and crucially, your energy is conserved. On the other side, it's total chaos. The motions are unrelated, kinetic friction is fighting you, and your energy is just being thrown away as heat and sound. It's efficiency versus waste. So, okay, cool physics lesson, but why does any of this actually matter in the real world? Well, it turns out that understanding this difference is absolutely critical for controlling pretty much anything that rolls. For instance, the anti-lock brakes in your car,
Their whole purpose is to prevent the wheels from skidding, to keep them in that perfect rolling without slipping state so you have maximum grip and control. But then you have a pro bowler who intentionally makes the ball slip at first, saving all that rotational energy for the end of the lane so it can grip and hook into the pins. And if you've ever been stuck in mud, that's pure wasteful slipping. All spin, no forward motion.
And that's really the bottom line here. Whether you're an engineer designing a braking system, a bowler trying to throw a strike, or just you trying to get your car out of a ditch, the goal is always to manage that relationship between rolling and slipping. It's all about controlling friction. So I'll leave you with a little challenge. Now that you know all this, which do you think would win a race down a ramp? A hollow hoop or a solid ball of the exact same size? Remember, it all comes down to how each object has to divide its energy between spinning and moving forward. The answer is a direct application of everything we've just talked about. Thanks for watching.